is a statuette of Mother Earth that my mother-in-law gave to me to repaint and kind of revamp. So we're going to use some mixed media techniques and see what we come up with. I'm not concerned with adding too many layers of gesso because once the gesso dries, we're going to go over it with some grit paste and then add some different hues of gray paint. On this side, because there's so much design, I'm using more of a pouncing technique to get into the grooves where that design is, where it's a little harder to get the brush into. I decided on a stone texture because the original painting on her face, you could see the paint strokes, and I wasn't a big fan of that. So I'm trying to kind of hide that with this texture. Next, we're going to be adding some shadow and highlighting with my wax pastes from Finnabair. This was a difficult part. I wanted to get that definition in there, but with her face being so small, I had to make sure that I didn't lose the softness of her overall expression with too much of the product. Next, we're using some old silver metallic wax to do some highlighting. So here's a quick comparison of what we started with and where we're at now. This next part was another challenge. I'm painting to try to bring some life into her eyes. Now we're going to switch focus to her hair. I'm using a baby wipe to take off some of the paint so that I keep a dark muted color. To add some shimmer and highlight to the hair, I'm going to be using Lindy's powder pigment in Sea Mint Green. A little goes a long way, so you add a little bit of the pigment with water and it becomes a paint. Switching focus to the earth belly, we're going to use Finnabair's metallic paint. It's an acrylic paint in deep waters to paint the water. We're now switching back to the hair using this wax matte finish by Finnabair to add some more depth by adding a little bit different of a texture and a color. We're dry brushing it on and then I'm just wiping a little bit off because I just want there to be a little bit on the hair. And back to the earth belly again to paint the land parts with this acrylic color Holiday Green. I had pictured an old map look for the earth, so I am adding somewhat of a second coat of the green, but I don't mind if some of that black does show through because I kind of want it to look antiqued. Okay, for this next part, I wanted to create the look of Labradorite on the decorations on the side of her leg and arm. I used a lot of different colors, blues, greens, golds, and I don't think I ended up quite with a Labradorite look, but I do think I ended up with something really cool. So here's another peek at where we are in the process. The next thing that we're going to do is work on the earth belly a little more. And like I said, I wanted to give it kind of like that old map feel. So I'm using this wax to add some of a kind of parchment color. It's the color ochre, but I'm going to put some of it on the edges to see if I can kind of get that feel to it, that antiqued old map feel to it. I'm using Finnabare's Opal Magic acrylic paint in pink blue, and you can see that the tone changes whether it's on light or dark and what angle it's at. It's a really cool product. Changing up the colors to add some variety in her hair. I also experimented a little with adding this color as another highlight to the leaves. here's another update after we've pretty much painted what we're going to be painting. The next step we're going to do is add some mossy parts. Again, we want her to look like she's been sitting in the forest for many a year. And to accomplish this, we're going to be using these miniature powders. They're used in models for grass and landscaping, as well as some Distress Collage Medium. It's a matte glue, and that'll be what we use to adhere the powder. And as you can see, I'm just thinning out some of the glue to get it into the areas I want the powder to go. Adding an element like this moss really comes in handy when you have parts of your project that maybe you feel like you messed up on, or in this case, I feel like the bottom of her feet kind of weren't very distinct. So I'm trying to cover that a little bit. I didn't quite like that part. So there's always a way to cover something you don't like. Now for some finishing touches.